this difficulty. So I had quite the surprise going into this. Turns out you can't see the enemy's health bars anymore, which is a big disadvantage for me because that's about 75% of the way I fight.
Her name is Elizabeth Sobek.
You spying through my focus again?
Tony, if you have that voice share on, you could say hi to the stream.
Stay on your present course. Before you know as well as I do. Maybe better. But be wary. Megas have this crawling with Eclipse troops. To help you deal with them, I've left some useful equipment just outside the walls. Your focus will show the location.
I got it.
Actually, they're derived from the same mythology, which is why it has led some to believe that it is actually a race of aliens that visited us. I don't doubt it at all. Either that or we figured out how to time travel and those people couldn't figure out how to get back, so they're like, well, might as well rule the fucking world. Oh yeah, that's definitely what we are. That or a continuation of their species in some regard. You know what I believe? I believe there used to be two populated planets in the solar system. And one of them was Mars. And then another one is now our asteroid belt between Mars and us. Or Mars and Jupiter. I believe that the one with Mars and Jupiter, between Mars and Jupiter, clearly was destroyed by either some sort of asteroid impact that was too large for it, or it collided with its own moon, or collided with one of Mars's moons because it would have been close enough to do so. Well, so I have a theory that we used to be on a binary star system, but for many billions of years the stars were shifting out of each other's orbit, and because of that we acquired a lot of things that are just not, you know, from our solar system, which is why we have a very diverse structure when it comes to all the different kind of planets we have. When we see other planets and other solar systems, we typically see a lot of the same structures or opposites, because opposites, you know, attract in science. You'll often see that you'll have molten hot rocks near the sun, and then just flat out coldness on the outer parts. And you know, none of our solar systems that we know of other than ours are complete for sure.
check on what they're doing.
But back to how that ties into my original theory about aliens having created humans altogether. So we're already talking about populating Mars because there's way too many fucking people here, and we're not even at the max capacity. The Earth is believed to only be able to hold about 11 billion people, and we're not talking comfortably. So we're already, we're talking about building elevators to space and building buildings that are so tall that we need to pump in air to allow people to breathe. How long before that runs out, and then we really need to, think about populating another planet. We're not even going to be a human species if we go to another planet. People who go to Mars and then live on Mars aren't even going to be able to come back to Earth because the gravity would kill them.
They'd have to do,
There would have to be some sort of thing you do while on the ship to adjust to Earth's gravity. Earth's gravity is ironically about 1 g. 1 g of force. We actually have the ability to make artificial gravity pretty easily. Just use the force of, movement versus, thrusts or whatever. But back to my original point on how that ties in is, I believe personally that planet that was destroyed had people of some sort of origin who came from another galaxy altogether and inhabited that particular planet that got destroyed, and already had people out in the solar system exploring. And when they got word or saw that their planet was fucking gone, if they were close enough, they would probably see it. Planets are, they're what's the word that I'm looking for? They're gigantic objects. You'd see it from, millions of miles away. What would you do? What would you do? Well, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take what is clearly a research station on the go as your spaceship and go inhabit a new planet. You're gonna take whatever indigenous life that you can and mold it as closely to yours as possible. You're gonna create a slave race because you've acquired a god complex. They talked about how the gods always wanted us to mine for gold. Exactly. Truth be told, I believe 110% that we've been visited. I believe they're probably still here in some capacity. In fact, I'm willing to bet my bottom dollar that whoever won the crazy war in the Mahabharata explanation of the gods fighting from the Indian ancient times is who's here now. You ever heard about the Mahabharata? It's actually a really interesting read. Mahabharata is actually a very interesting read because they explain in great detail all the different kind of mystical weapons used by the gods, and it sounds a lot more like the kind of weapons we have now. Everything straight from ground to air missiles that lock onto a target using heat to nuclear weapons.
Move along now.
Damn, I just kicked these guys' fucking asses. You know what the truth is? I still kind of want to play Tilo, Tony.
What if they've been